Welcome to another unboxing video from theplayersaid.com. I'm Grant. Today I'm unboxing a prototype game that was shipped to me by the designer Brandon Rollins. This game is called Highways and Byways from Pangea Games. I did an interview with Brandon just a week or so ago on the game. This game is a family style, yet it is a competitive game. That is a racing game where players are controlling a certain vehicle. It's like you're taking a summer road trip and you have a certain style of vehicle that grants various abilities or variable player powers that you then use to schedule routes, travel. You have a hand of cards that can give you actions. You have to manage those cards so that you don't run out of cards and that you have the right cards at the right time. Very interesting looking game. It is designed for 2 to 4 players, plays in about an hour, and is designed for 10 plus. Really great art. Once again, prototype. James Messino is the artist that Brandon has used quite a bit. He did Warco, expandable card game a couple of years ago in 2016. James Messino was his artist, and those cards were absolutely fantastic. So he does have a great taste in art, and I think it helps sell his games. This, I believe, is his second game. I like the box cover. I think the art is amazing. My one recommendation to Brandon would be, I feel like there's a lot of dead space in the middle. I would drop that title a little bit, just a little bit, and maybe advance the car. I don't know. It's just too open, but I think it does evoke the traveling theme that is the theme of the game. So there's a look at the spine. Really nice looking game. Graphics wise, definitely a very good looking game. So keep in mind, prototype components. This game, I believe, is coming to Kickstarter in March. So I'm shooting this video in early February. You can look for this game in March. Here is a look at the rule book. Very simple rules. Remember, I said family style game, 8 pages, lots of pictures. Here's a look at the regions that you can schedule your travel or trips through. It's a regional map of the United States. Here's a look at great illustrations to illustrate how the rules work, from movement to how to travel. Here's a look at some of the other markers. There are cards, and we'll look at the cards that affect your travel. For instance, that card, which is an A road closed card, says any roads that are marked with the letter A on them this turn because of the construction card cannot be used. So, and obviously on the map, you're going to see that when we look at the map. But yeah, great looking rules, very simple. I think you're going to be able to pick this game up in 10 minutes with this rule book and then play it. There's a look at the vehicle cards. Like I told you, each player is going to have one of those, and they're going to grant certain abilities and powers. There are events, there are construction cards, there are the different types of roads that you're going to plan your trips on. Some markers there. Really nice looking game. I think well put together. Here's a look at those markers. Keep in mind, prototype. There's some cardboard and plastic. There's kind of almost looks like a hotel from Monopoly. There's a green, purple, white, and blue. This game is designed for 4 players. Nice looking components. I really like the pawns. In my opinion, very fitting for a family-oriented game. So this is not a war game. You might be saying, Grant, what are you doing reviewing a non-war game? Well, we look at other games too. Here, I wanted to look at these different vehicle cards because they're so well done. One thing I really enjoy about Brandon and his style, he likes to put in a lot of thought and background into these things. If you played Warco, he basically created an entire world with a system, how people reacted to each other, characters, really interesting. But this card, the ancient one, you can see this looks like it's a 1981 Honda Civic, just won't die. but it's immune to accident and repair events. So when those event cards come up, they're going to be able to ignore those. But here's what I like. See, Brandon put, no one knows how to destroy it, not even its creator. I just really think that's a nice touch. Here's a look at the Cowboy, which is, once again, an 85 Blazer, immune to traffic and weather events. Here you have an old Crown Victoria used police car called 5-0. So there's an example of some of those. Rust Bucket, the Soccer Mobile. My dad actually had a minivan just like that. It was tan, but it looked exactly like that. Kind of like a box with wheels. And then here's a station wagon. My sister owned a station wagon. I like it because it's called stationary wagon. Kind of cool. But there's an example. Each player is going to have one of those. So this builds in some variety for play. You're going to have an option of playing any one of these variable cards and have different abilities and, in essence, a different experience. So well done, Brandon, on that. I think any designer that doesn't put some variability and replayability into his game is not doing it right. Brandon does a great job of that. So here's a look at some of the root cards. You'll notice there are less red Byway cards. There's only about 10 of these. And then the blue Byway cards, there's like 50 of them. I think it said, I actually read it, but 8 red Byway cards and 64 blue. So you're going to see, as you turn these over, Oregon Highway 101. Once again, some interesting theme and written information about that trail. Here you have the Lewis and Clark Highway. Once again, kind of cool. I like this. The very end of the Lewis and Clark expedition, they reached it in 1805. What GPS? They didn't need GPS. They followed the stars and the sun. Rises in the east and sets in the west. They just knew to go west. So here's an example. A lot of those different cards, and you can see that they are associated with different regions of the country based on the color. We'll cover that one more time. But these are your root cards that you're going to use. Sorry. Here's the special red Byway cards. And once again, I did the interview, but I can't exactly remember what the differences are. But this is a specific route in a specific state. So there you go, a look at those. Lots of different variety. You're also going to have the other card types that you will have will be road construction, and then the events. So there's about five road construction cards that are lettered A through E. And when these are pulled, they're going to relate to a specific highway. Then you're going to have events. So when you pull these events, they're going to affect your car. Broke brakes, repair. If you're on a highway space, you can only move 4 spaces today. And remember, for instance, the ancient one says immune to accident and repair events. So here you can say both these first events that I have, they're in order, it looks like. These 4 are repairs. So when you draw that card, you're going to be immune to that. There are accidents, there's weather events, there are distance events, wild cards that can affect different things. So really a lot of different variety. Truck Stop Coffee. Move 2 extra spaces today because you have energy from the coffee. So really cool, and you're going to have some player aid cards here. We're not player aid cards, but reminder. Yeah, they're player aid cards. Reminder of what you can and cannot do and the sequence of play. I think that's important. A lot of these types of games do not have that, and I think that's something Brandon has included. Let's go ahead and look at the board. Nice thick board. Once again, remember, keep in mind, guys, this is a prototype. But I'll say, for a prototype, this is a very, very nice looking game. So there's a look at the map. It's very, very big. You can see, once again, the different regions, the color-coded regions, the different routes, and you're going to have to plan to get around. And it's basically a racing game. It's who can get back, get to their destination, and then get back as quick as they can. So that's a look at the highways and byways game. I'll throw some of those cards out there so you can just get a better look how they all feel and work together. I think they look great. Great looking map. Like the events. I like the details. I think this is going to be an interesting game. I think this is a game that you can play with your family. Once you understand the rules, I think that you can play it in 45 minutes. It won't take an hour. But I think with any game, you're going to have to get used to it and understand the rules and the basics. But yeah, there you go. There's Highways and Byways, designed by Brandon Rollins. I really like Brandon. He's an interesting guy. If you haven't followed him on Twitter, you are missing out. He shares some fantastic art regularly. Really enjoy that. I think he also has done quite a few blog posts on his developers blog about Kickstarter, about design and how it works, the process itself. I really feel like Brandon is finding his niche, and I think that he's going to be a good, solid designer in the future as he begins to test and try his different styles. So once again, this game is coming to Kickstarter in March. Check it out. I think this is a solid game that you can play with your family, younger children, but you can also play with your friends in your group for a little bit of competitive racing. So I think that's kind of cool. So that's Highways and Byways from Pangea Games. I've been Grant for theplayersaid.com. If you enjoyed the video, please like it and comment. If you enjoy the channel, please follow, and we'll look for you to read more on our blog about the games that we open up and unbox and unbag. We do a lot of reviews, AAR, session reports, strategy guides, action points, etc. So check out our blog if you haven't, and check this game out as well. Thank you.